Hello, so I want to walk you through Toulmin analysis. We've already talked about classic and Rogerian analysis. So now we're taking a look at a new form of argumentation called Toulmin argumentation. And this form of argumentation, many say, is the most logical form of argumentation because it's based on logic as opposed to emotion or ethics. And it contains a structure called an enthymeme, basically a warrant or a system of beliefs that is presented a claim that includes data and backing and qualifiers to support that claim, and then has rebuttals for every claim. So let me walk you through how this works. This is a form of argumentation that requires you to be the most argumentative and the most persuasive of any type of claim. It also requires you as an arguer to think through all the opposing arguments made for your claim. So let's take a look at what that looks like. Let's first talk about claims. We know that claims are what the writer hopes to prove, and they need to be debatable. They are basically your reasons for believing what you believe. And they should begin each paragraph of your argument. You don't begin with evidence, you begin with your claims, your reasons for what you believe. Unless, of course, you have a supporting a paragraph, let's continuing evidence or something like that. Or in case you want to begin with a warrant, which we'll talk about a little bit later on. But right now, what you need to know is what a claim is. So let's say from our major paper 2 brainstorms, you decided you wanted to do your report on snow days. And you decided that your claim, you wanted to make a strong stand, that your overall thesis statement was that you were in favor of digital snow days, that we should continue to do what we did this year and have digital snow days in place of a day where you don't have school at all. So you have 3 claims that you are making, 3 reasons why you believe you are pro-digital, and that is that having a digital snow day is academically superior to having a day off. Your second claim is that it provides less interruption to student and teacher schedules, as well as the school schedule. And 3, that it is more like the real world, since you don't get a snow day if you're working in business or almost any other business out there. Almost any other business out there. Okay, so those are our 3 claims that we're making. Now, Toulmin analysis states that in your body section of your paper, for every claim, you have to have a counterclaim. So you present your claim, you provide evidence. I have to find research that proves that a digital snow day is academically superior. I have to find research that proves that there's less interruption to schedule. And I have to find research that proves that it is more like the real world to have a digital snow day rather than calling off school altogether. So I present my claim, I present my evidence that supports that claim, and then I have to provide a counterclaim that is a direct attack on my own claim. So a counterclaim is a direct argument made against each claim. It also must be debatable. And it needs to be reasonable and it needs to be supported, meaning there has to be evidence that exists in favor of that claim as well. So here is the example of if I went with digital snow days, how that would look in my paper. I first present my claim and my evidence for my claim. Digital snow days are academically superior. Next, I start a new paragraph and I present a counterclaim to that. Even though digital snow days are academically superior, some people believe that these breaks in the school year or the routine are good for the brain. And I should supply evidence that shows that a break in routine is actually good for a developing brain. My rebuttal to that, now I have to give a rebuttal to that counterclaim. So it could be part of that same counterclaim paragraph, or I could be starting an entirely new paragraph. My rebuttal is that the digital snow days still offer a break because you don't have the full day that you're in school, that you still have time before and after and during lunch hours that you could have a break and you could get out of the school environment. You're just on digital classes for a fraction of the school day that you would normally be spending in the classroom. So you have the ability to take a break from that brain. Same thing if you take a look at this for claim 2 and claim 3, digital interrupt schedules less. The counterclaim to that could be not if you need to review, like kids don't pay as much attention on a digital day as they might in school. So maybe you come back to school and you still have to review things. My counterclaim, my rebuttal to that is that review would take less time than teaching things from scratch. And then you can see claim 3 more like the real world. My counterclaim is kids aren't adults. Rebuttal is that it's still a good time for them to start to learn to be adults and to see what life is going to be like after school. Okay, so it develops like some skills that they might need as adults. So that's how it works. You make a claim, you say, well, some people might say this. However, here is why the idea that digital snow days are still a good idea, how we would counter that claim. Claim, counterclaim, rebuttal, new claim, counterclaim, rebuttal, new claim, counterclaim, rebuttal. In your major paper 3, you have to have as many claims as you have people in your group. So if you're in a group of 2, you have to make at least 2 claims. If you're in a group of 3, 3. If you're in a group of 4, 4. That does not mean that if you're in a group of 2 or 3, you can't make 4 claims. You can make as many claims as you want to, but you have to have at least 1 per group. And then you have to assign that to each person in your group. So if I'm in a group of 3, 1 person in my group is going to work on finding evidence and supporting the academically superior claim. 1 person is going to be finding evidence and supporting claim 2. And the 3rd person is going to be finding evidence and supporting claim 3, and also looking for evidence for our counterclaim and figuring out how to argue against that. So when you do your timed right, you as an individual will be writing a single introduction, your introduction, however you choose to do it. As an individual, you will be writing 1 claim, a counterclaim to it, and a rebuttal to that counterclaim. And then as an individual, you'll be writing your own conclusion. All right, hopefully you don't have any questions about that. If you do, please feel free to email me and I will let you know whatever answer I have available for you. Thank you. Have a great day.